Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and...
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
I'm me, who's actually accompanied by Drew this week.
Oh, yes, I am.
Yay!
I am. Not only am I...
Lucky like a hurricane. Here he is.
Not only am I here with you, I'm in the goofball lair. Full power, full internet, fully restored, like a fully functioning human being. You know, we went from having...
Back to reality.
Yeah, well, no, not really, because there's still so much to do here. It's not even funny. So
Yeah,
I still have to have roofers come out and take a look at the roof. And we still have at my job, we're only halfway functioning because we don't have full power come to the building yet. So there's still plenty of doing here. But luckily, after getting my power, as I said to you guys yesterday during our post-game show, all of a sudden I get the text that our power went off again. Our power went back on again today, along with the interwebs. So
I like the interwebs.
now. Yes, it was very nice to get. It came out about 10:30 this morning. So fully functioning is always nice to see. We'll see if they get shut off again later on. So if you lose me during this episode, that could be why.
It's back to a solo episode. Yay!
But yeah, we do want to give a quick thank you to all the listeners and watchers for dealing with the past week. I know we haven't put out as much content because we haven't been doing all the the segments we usually do on YouTube and all, and poor Rob has had to talk to himself basically the last couple of episodes there.
I'm usually pretty good at that, but
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot more arguing with himself just to fill time.
The internal battle.
What do you think, Rob? Well, I think this, Rob.
Well, Rob, you sound like a smart guy.
I don't know.
I did pick the Broncos.
Like I said, I know it's definitely, we didn't put out the same amount of content all we usually do, so I appreciate you guys for sticking with us during what was a not so fun time for me, that's for damn sure. So hopefully that part's all over. Though I still have to go through FEMA for stuff and try to get my roof done and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, fun times. But let's get into Giants news, which you would think would make me happier, but after yesterday, who knows?
Yeah.
Let's get into the first thing, because there's a lot of people questioning this right off the bat for the game yesterday, and it's a time for a new kicker, because that's apparently what we do, because it's the kicker's fault that Daniel Jones can't complete a pass. Oops, did I say that loud?
Yeah. Ooh.
Oops. Whoopsie. Anyway, Brian Daboll was asked that today in his media press conference he does every Monday post game, and he said, "I'd say we stay with Greg. He's done pretty good since he's been here." Now, Greg Joseph, guys, is 8 of 11 since joining the Giants. So not a bad percentage overall. The big thing is we're doing the current day history kind of stuff and going, oh, he just missed 2 field goals yesterday. He missed the very first one. They made 8 in a row and now missed 2 in a row. So a little bit of streakiness, that's for sure. Yeah. But guys, it's mid-October. Like, who do you think is sitting on the streets that's better?
Listen, the Browns last year got Flacco in November, so
I'm just saying.
Sometimes there's a diamond amongst the rough here.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that it's the right move to keep him for right now, but you got to have that conversation with him. Like, dude, you're on a loose, really tight leash here. Like, you miss 1 or 2 more field goals, and you're probably on the unemployment line. Back to the practice squad with you.
Yeah,
but it's like, we brought in 4 or 5 kickers. It's not like we're like, okay, let's just bring in Greg Joseph. We're good. Like, we brought in multiple people that we thought might be a good fit. And this was the guy we said was the best fit. So, yeah. Changing sounds good. And, obviously yesterday we're all frustrated. We're all like, off of this head. But, I mean, it is what it is. Like, you're going to miss field goals occasionally. And, like I said, it's not really his fault what happened. Because if you take those 2 field goals, we still lose, guys, 17-13. We still lost. Yeah. It's not like his field goals were the deciding factor. So in the end, like I said, you keep him, you put him on a short leash. I mean, it also depends on partially what's going on with Graham Gano. This is now 3 weeks, so Graham Gano is eligible to come off the IR next week, depending on how he's doing. I haven't heard any updates on that yet. They've been kind of a little hush-hush on that. But he's eligible to start coming back next week. So, we'll see what happens there. But like I said, I give him another game. I get another game, see what happens based on what happens with Gano going forward, if I not keep him and how he's doing kicking wise there. But you can do a whole lot worse, guys. Guys got experience. The guy's hitting again 8 of 11 at that point. I mean, I can do the math real quick, but that's got to be high 70s at that point. That's not horrible. It's not great, but again, he's not your starting kicker. That's why it's not great, because he's not great. Crazy suggestion, guys. Common sense. Speaking of common sense, guess what, guys? This may be breaking news. The Giants need to score more.
Oh,
what? News. This is also coming off of Brian Daboll's press conference here he had with the media here today. He said, it's hard to win football games when you score 7 points. This one's on me. We had opportunities throughout the game, but we just couldn't capitalize. We turned the ball over on a good drive and walked away with no points. Then he was asked about going forward on 4th down early in the second half. And he said, we didn't have any points, and I felt good about what we had going. But when you score 7 points, that's the reality of it. We got to do better. Then he was also asked about the missed field goals we talked about a minute ago. And he said, we're not going to make excuses. 7 points isn't enough to win this league. And then he ended it with, we'll go back, look at the film, and figure it out.
About right.
Yeah, I mean, it's right as far as an answer, but guys, am I the only one doubting the I'll figure it out BS? Like, this is not an isolated incident. This is not the first time our offense has sucked.
Yeah, or they were inept.
Yeah. And they sucked. Inept is too proper a term at this point. I mean, look at the season overall. Okay, so we're 6 games in. 2 of the 6 games, we failed to score over 7 points. It's a third of the games we haven't scored more than 8 touchdowns. That's not good.
Yeah.
So 2/3 of these games we haven't scored over 18 points. That means only one time we have scored more than 21 points, guys. This is not good at all. Like, I am seriously not liking the way this offense is going here. We're averaging just 16 points per game. Take out the Seattle game. That's the one game the offense put up some points. And we go down to 13.4 points a game. That's brutal. That's brutal.
Yeah.
And I know we're going to get some Jones people here going to get upset when I say this. It's time, guys. It is time. Oh, I know he's playing so much better weeks 2 through 5. He had one good game. He had one good game. Stop. Let's not give game manager trophies. That's what I feel like we're doing as a fan base. We're so used to like bad quarterback play that even game manager status, we're like, oh my God, look at that. Guys,
yeah, something to get excited for.
This team, and I'm not suggesting we're going to make the move right now this offseason to get this kind of change going, but this team is a quarterback away, guys. I really, truly believe that. We have weapons. We have a solid veteran running back. We have a promising rookie running back. We have potentially one of the top 5 to 10 wide receivers in the entire league. We have an absolute, I'll call him a PPR machine. Obviously, I know we're not talking fantasy, but he's a PPR machine in Wan'Dale Robinson, because the guy just catches the ball nonstop. He doesn't get a lot of yards, but he catches the ball nonstop. You got the classic deep threat in Darius Slayton at that point. You got a couple of the young receivers that I know some people hold some promise to. I'm not saying I do, but some people do. You got a promising tight end who has shown something the last 2 weeks and all of a sudden started kind of getting things rolling after being quiet the first quarter of the season. You got a functioning, positive offensive line at this point, which is something the Giants haven't had in years. You have a defense that literally just held a team last night to 17 points. It averages in the high 20s. This is a team that is set up for success if we just had a quarterback. And you know what I kind of liken this to? I kind of liken this to like the Atlanta Falcons last year.
Yes, listen, that's exactly how I said this team's going to look like this year. Is that you're going to have a good defense and a lackluster offense, and
and look what Kirk Cousins has done for them. And Kirk Cousins is no, almighty quarterback. This is not a one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, but he's a functioning quarterback with an arm.
Yeah, he's making Kyle Pitts look like a serviceable tight end.
And he is. He always has been. He just hasn't had a quarterback. I've said that for a while myself at that point. Drake London, same thing.
He's been playing great. And you got Mooney.
Haven't had their guy to throw in the ball.
Yeah, and they picked up Mooney from the Bears, who's been playing very well for him.
Yep, he has. But that's what I look at. How many times have you seen this where all of a sudden a team gets a quarterback and all of a sudden they're a good team when they were poop beforehand? Look at again. Not that I'm thinking he's coming out the door. Nobody start the rumor because I've heard it before. Tom Brady's not coming here, guys. He's done. But Tom Brady, when he went to Tampa Bay, is a classic example.
Yes.
Takes a team that had a defense, had receivers, had an offensive line, and got things rolling. And you see it on a consistent basis in this league. And I feel like that's where we are at. And the problem is you see other teams that do that. They don't make the right move, like the Jets that we're going to see here tonight against the Bills here. I mean, that's a classic example as well because the Jets have had the defense, had the offensive weapons. I mean, they had at one point an offensive line. They don't anymore, but they never had.
They had a terrible offensive line.
Yeah,
but they got weapons of offense.
But they never had a quarterback really, and they keep moving to try to get one out of desperation because they know they're in that position. They're not entirely stupid. They recognize that.
Yeah,
but I feel like that's where we're at as a franchise now. We're a quarterback away, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, their running back plays a little better than ours, but
listen,
but
I'm a big fan of what we got going on here. I really am.
I am too. I'm just saying Breece Hall is top 5 running back in this league right now.
He is. I'm just saying that we need a quarterback. Daniel Jones does not cut it. And I still say until we get that figured out, this is what we're at, guys. And I'm calling for it again. It's time for DeVito. It's time for DeVito, guys. I've seen Drew Lock enough in the NFL. I know what he is. There's a little bit of a peppiness, so to speak, this team we put DeVito in. We need a little peppiness right now, guys.
Pepe Le Pew?
Yeah. No, he's
because we stink.
Not French.
Oh,
no.
No,
he just, we don't stink. The quarterback stinks. That's the problem. As Deb says here, Jerry Foley was actually at the game and said there was a lot of open receivers downfield that Jones just missed. Saw we don't see on TV. And you don't need to even get that. You can look at it on the film later on when they show the different angles. You can go to the All-22.
Yeah.
Which I haven't had a chance to see in this game yet, but I've seen it in other games. It happens every game because Jones doesn't move off his first guy. He has no confidence to throw the ball deep. He misses guys that are wide open on a regular basis. I don't mean like missing, like throwing it horribly, but he's done that as well. I mean, just missing guys that are wide open down the field because he doesn't have the confidence to make the throw anymore. He is done.
He's been throwing the ball deep a little bit more. We're going to let's be.
Yes, he's throwing the ball deep, but not.
But he's
accurate.
missing. Yeah, he's missing, but he's throwing the ball deep more. So
I'm telling you, they're open a lot more than you think.
Oh, 100% they are.
And it's not the 1 or 2 times a game he's throwing it. There's guys ready, and he's just check down, and I'm sick of it. You can't get an offense going the way we're playing like 1970s offense here in the 2020s. Like it don't work. And I know a lot of people aren't a fan of Daboll right now sometimes especially because we're lost. He's the head coach, and that's kind of where that goes. That's that job he has. Guys, I'll still say it till I'm blue in the face. I don't think this is on Daboll. I really don't. I actually commend the guy for not bashing Jones even in a roundabout way. Because he can easily sit on the podium and say, we need better quarterback play. The guys are open. We got the right plays in there. He's just not doing it.
He doesn't even have to say that. Like, all he has to do is be like, listen, we have open guys downfield. Like, you don't have to bring up saying quarterback play, but you just say, like, listen, we got to make sure there's receivers that are open to get, we tossing the ball or just passive aggressively kind of say it like that. And, gets it home. Yeah.
But instead, he's he's taking the heat. He's taking the heat himself. And I do think
the sign of a good leader.
Yeah, and I do think that he hasn't lost the locker room, even though, let's be honest, the defense has to be really, really frustrated after last night. Like I said, I think we're a quarterback away. And I don't think we have the quarterback on the roster, but I'd be willing to give a shot to the only one at that point that's got some promise to him. It is time.
Yeah.
Got to put up some points, guys. All right. Let's talk about a player that we really do need to have a decent offense, and he's hurt now. Andrew Thomas got hurt against the Bengals. We talked about in the post-game show that was probably the worst we've seen him play in a long time. Gave up 2 sacks to Trey Hendrickson. And apparently he suffered a foot injury in the game, which is why he was clearly struggling and not up to his usual level. After the game, he said he felt not great when asked. He's having an MRI on it today. We haven't gotten the news yet as far as what happened, as far as is it a bone? Is it a tendon? Like, what's going on exactly? We have no clue. I will say when I hear MRI, not X-ray, it makes me think a tendon kind of issue.
Yeah, 100%. You look at soft tissue, not bones.
Yeah.
With MRI.
Yeah. But I mean, until they say otherwise, I'm never going to rule anything out because who knows what the hell. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV, goddammit.
Yeah.
Now on General
Damn it, Jim.
Monday through Friday.
As the goofball turns. General Goofball.
Now my evil twin. Just need an eye patch. Now I'm the evil twin. Or am I?
Oh.
Maybe I'm wearing a fake once you think I'm the evil twin. Anyway, it makes you wonder what they're going to do if that happens. And I think the obvious plan is move Jermaine Illuminor over to left tackle, which stinks because he's probably been the best right tackle in all of football, basically, at this point. Guys hasn't allowed a single sack yet.
Just about, yeah.
But look at moving him maybe to the left side, and that makes you wonder, is it time for the return of the burger flipper himself, Evan Neal?
Ooh.
I'm just saying, that's where we're at. And, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to it as long as the coach has confidence in him to play better than he has in the past. This might be just what he needed. It may be that he needed some time at that point with the new offensive line coach that has some skill. Let's be very frank on that. Carmen Brasillo has got some skill as an offensive line coach. He's working with, garbage basically with the Raiders for, they didn't have any really high picks or anything like that. They had 1. This is the best talent he's actually had probably as an offensive line coach. We keep on drafting guys because we can't ever develop them. And he's developed these guys. Can he, given a month or two with Evan Neal not playing, and I'm hoping there's been some focus on helping him on the side and stuff like that. Obviously, we have no way of knowing either way in that. But could he potentially fix Evan Neal? Because I just find it really hard to believe that Evan Neal goes from
such a top prospect.
Yeah, this was can't miss prospect. I remember when we got him in the 7th overall pick. We got really excited about it because we didn't think we were going to necessarily get him because we knew we were going to get Kayvon. Obviously, we got him number 5 at that point there, and Ike Ekwonu was the guy we thought we were going to get because everybody thought Evan Neal would be the guy you take as the first tackle off the board. That would just make sense. But we took the position where there was one more elite edge rusher when there was 2 good elite tackles in their mind. They knew they could get one of the 2. But we got the guy that we thought was the better option. Now, Ekwonu, by the way, is playing very good this year for the Panthers. He's finally getting his stuff together. Is this the year that Evan Neal does? And I really don't have a lot of faith in him as a person, as a player, as somebody who play in New York City itself specifically because of all the issues and the comments he's had. You can tell things get under his skin. Guys, if there's one guy who can fix him, it's Carmen Brasillo. It's got a lot of faith in him.
Yeah. I mean, he's really taking players. I don't want to call them scrubs because that's not fair. They've taken average players, made them look better.
He's taken journeyman. You can say it that way. I mean, Greg Van Roten is an older player, has been around for a while. Ask Jet fans, he was horrible when he was a Jet. Jermaine Illuminor has been this 3rd or 4th spot in the NFL at that point there. He's been kind of a journeyman as well. It's just, I mean, John Runyon was at the point where the Packers were benching him on some running plays because of how bad he wasn't running the ball. I mean, run blocking. So it's like,
yeah,
he's done a lot with what he's got. Like I said, I just don't know because I don't know how much the Giants are like, okay, let's work with this kid and see if we can salvage him, or are they going, let's just put him on the bench and just wait it out for the contract to be up? Like, I don't know what mentality they're taking.
I mean, it could definitely go either way.
Yeah,
but
I could see it.
I think if they're paying him, they're going to play him, especially on that rookie contract.
Well, I mean, that's who you would think would be the guy. I mean, the guy's got a lot of starting, starting experience there. Obviously, he's got the pedigree, obviously, at that point there, and he's literally listed as the backup. I mean, who else can put out there? Zudu. Zudu's been an absolute bust too. I mean,
yeah,
I don't know who else you would put out there, to be very honest. But that's your two guys as swing tackles. I mean, Stinney has been a guard. Kubas hasn't even played, but he's a guard. Van Roten's listed basically as the backup center. So it's not like we have somebody over there we can go ahead and throw out there. So, yeah, like I said, it's got to be Neal or Azudu. I think Neal will be the guy. But the hope is, guys, that it's nothing major. We keep Andrew Thomas playing. I'll take 80% of Andrew Thomas over 100% of Evan Neal any day of the week.
Yeah, definitely.
I might even take 65% of Andrew Thomas over 100% of Evan Neal.
Yeah.
It's not good, guys. It's not good. So, all right, let's talk about some positivity, guys. We give so much negative news. I got to give a little positive here. Let's give a little kudos to the rooks, because we got some rookies, guys, that are really stepping up. We talked about it before, how this is a rookie class that Joe Shane seems to have hit home run with. Absolutely. And we've been critical of his past drafts, and I still say rightfully so. I think he got this one right, guys. We'll find out as time goes, but let's look at what they did here. Obviously, Neighbors was out. Tyler Newman, 100% of the defensive snaps yesterday, guys. Had 9 tackles. He led the team in tackles.
Had a tackle for loss. Good.
Yes. Drew Phillips, coming back from injury, so still not 100%. So when he played 68% of the defensive snaps, guys. Had 5 tackles, another tackle for loss as well. Theo Johnson, 89% of the offensive snaps. 3 catches, 30 yards. Listen, guys, I will take 3 catches, 30 yards out of my tight end all day long. That puts him about 450, 500 yards in that kind of range of the season. As a rookie, if you can get that kind of production out of a tight end is usually a position guys take a year or two to learn, guys. And I feel like Theo Johnson the last couple weeks, ever since Neighbors has been hurt, has kind of turned a corner. I'm hoping that when Neighbors comes back, we don't forget about him again. The obvious guy, Tyrone Tracy Jr., 84% of offensive snaps, had 107 total yards in the game, had the Giants' lone touchdown as well. Definitely say he made a pretty decent impact. Darius Muasau only had 2 defensive snaps, but he was on 86% of the special team snaps. And listen, anytime you get any contribution from a 6th-round pick, guys, not bad. Because 6th-round picks are typically guys that end up on the practice squad or get cut before training camp's over.
Yeah.
That's what they are. So you got 5 of the 6 rookies making a pretty decent impact there, and the only one that didn't is the guy who's injured. Concussion protocol. I don't know if injured is the right word at that point, but he's in the concussion protocol, and he's probably our best offensive player in the entire team. Only guy I'd put up there is possibly different is you can now talk about the tackles here. Thomas and Illuminor potentially, even as crazy as it sounds, Illuminor being potentially one of the best, but the guy hasn't given up a sack yet in 6 weeks. So,
especially you got to put him at least top 5.
Yeah. So, but there's Neighbors, one of the playing still. He's still like one of the top leaders in catches in the year after missing 2 games. That's how good he's been. This draft class, guys, has a real chance to be something extremely special. We talked about a lot of holes we had this offseason, and there was a lot of holes. And there's still some holes, especially at quarterback. Who said it? What? but
St. Jones has a lot of holes. Ew.
At least 3. Maybe 5. Forgot the nostrils.
Ear holes.
Ear holes. There's 7. We're up to 7 holes. Eye holes count? 9.
Well, they're stuffed with eyes.
That's I guess. Anyway. Anyway, like I said, you got a rookie class that's really making contributions, and I think most teams would be very happy with the outcome that we're getting out of this draft class. Hopefully this is what Shane does going forward, because we're building through the draft. Just need a quarterback now. Who said what?
Ooh, yeah.
I can't help myself. I gotta say it. Let's talk about a draft pick from last year, though. That is not looking good for guys. As I said, I've been not too big a fan of some of Shane's prior draft classes before this year. We got to talk about Jalen Hyatt again and ask the question, as it looks like he's waving goodbye in that picture there. Is it time to give up on Jalen Hyatt?
It kind of looks like Bruce Banner in an old school The Incredible Hulk TV show.
It also made for TV movies, by the way. There's a few of them.
Yeah.
YouTube has them.
Yeah. Did he fight Thor in one of them?
There was a Thor. Yes, there was a Thor. There was also a Daredevil in one of them as well.
Oh, it's got to be fantastic.
Yes. It's absolutely as horrible as you think it is. There was also a Doctor Strange. Oh, yes. They had a few of them. Anyway, on to Jalen Hyatt, who is just been playing very strange. So last night, he was targeted 4 times. 1 catch for 6 yards. That's with him playing 81% of the offensive snaps in the game, guys. That's not good. I shouldn't have to say that, but I'm going to in case anybody's confused by that. That's really bad. Like, that's like something you expect out of like your 4th wide receiver, not one of your 3 that are out there consistently almost every play.
Well, he's also wasn't. Well, last night he was consistent, but not for the year.
No, but I'm saying he had a big opportunity because the game before that, Slayton was balling out. Wandale was just catching the ball every single chance. He dropped a couple times, but he's still getting a lot of balls. He's throwing his way there and getting a lot of catches. You understood a little bit Hyatt wasn't popping up as much. Nobody balled out yesterday. And it's not to single Hyatt out as if he's the only one who didn't ball out. Don't get me wrong. But when you're on 81% of the offensive snaps, guys, 1 catch, 6 yards does not cut it.
No.
That absolutely does not cut it. Like, that is an absolute waste. An absolute waste, guys. You can't be doing that. You got to go ahead and get more than that. I'm not saying to get to 100 yards. If he had done 30, 40 yards, I think we'd be having a different conversation right now. Okay, we saw a little life out of him. Can he build off of that? 1 catch for 6 yards. I mean, I guess that's his best game he's had. It's his only catch he has in the year. So I guess, can he build up on this 1 catch, 6 yards?
No. I guess he's get next one's 4.5 yards. Wolf.
But I'm just saying, is it crazy to think that Isaiah Hodgins could do more with that playing time? The guy who had some really good rapport with Daniel Jones a couple of years ago, and even last year did a whole lot more than Hyatt's done this year.
Doesn't say much.
Is it crazy to sit there and say that when he's healthy again? Because obviously he was out last week, but Bryce Ford Wheaton, should he be getting these snaps instead? See what he's got. We really haven't seen him in the offense at all. I'm at the point where it's like, we talked about Evan Neal a minute ago, saying maybe he needs a little one-on-one, a little time off the field, a little time to grow and mature, so to speak, into his game. I think that's what Jalen Hyatt needs. I'm not ready to give up on him. I'm not ready to say, let's toss him out to the side. But I think he needs to be at the very bottom of the depth chart and worked with to, bulk up. I still think he's way too goddamn skinny.
The problem is when you say bulk up, like, he's a one-trick pony, and it's speed. Yeah. So you put too much mass on, is he going to be that fast?
I don't know, but you got to try because he can't break away from anybody who's got any physicality whatsoever, and they know it. And this is corners that aren't even necessarily known for physicality or just doing it because they know they can stop him that way.
Yeah.
If you look at the plays even that he was throwing the ball, really, really tight windows. Like he could not get separation. And unfortunately, I think that's where he's at. He's got to learn how to beat the press coverage. I think he's got to bulk up a little bit. I'm not saying go crazy, but if you get another 5-10 pounds of muscle at that point, maybe he loses a little bit of speed, but he's still going to be faster than most guys out there. Maybe instead of being Tyreek Hill speed, he's got Darius Slayton speed.
Which, listen, Slayton's making a career out of his speed, so it's all right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes you got to realize you can give up a little bit of speed if you end up being a better receiver for it. And I wonder if that's the scenario with him, because he's just, like I said, he's just so small. And I swear what they list him at can't be right for the weight. I really think that. Like, it's absolutely insane when you look at him when he's on the field and how tiny he just is. Like, he's a stick figure. Like, a good gust of wind is going to take him out. Because 6 foot even. 185 pounds, guys. That's not football size. That's track and field size.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but at the same time, like a lot of players been coming out of college the past couple years have been smaller.
Yeah.
And so like it's not all of them bulked up.
But I feel like those guys also have gotten they've been able to figure out how to get around that issue their whole college careers and everything. You know what I mean? Tank Dell, for example, classic example there, okay? Tank Dell is 165 pounds. He's also 5'8".
He's a wheel, man.
Like, he's figured it out because he's had to his whole career. Whereas Jalen Hyatt could use that speed and get away with it. You can't get away with that anymore. And Deb says maybe Hyatt could do better if he run the right routes. Yeah, that probably wouldn't hurt either. Because there was definitely some miscommunication going on there. Like I said, I just feel like there's something going on there behind the scenes. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Something going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of. And Daboll keeps things in-house, as he should. I'm not suggesting he should let us know. He's keeping it in-house like he should. But I feel like there's something wrong. And I feel like sometimes you got to take a step back to take a step forward. And that's where I feel like we're at with Hyatt. I also wonder... Like, I don't want to even put this out there to a certain degree because I don't know people thinking this is definitely what's going on. And I have no proof of it, but I'm wondering if this is going on. We talked about the defense and how they're going to be upset necessarily with the offense because of how much trouble they've had scoring points. And the defense is kind of being expected to do much more than they should have to do. Is there a chance that maybe some of the receivers are having issues with the fact that they're wide open and Jones is missing them?
It could be probably more of a problem, like you're saying, than the defense. Defense is out there doing the job and they're working as a collective unit, but the receivers need a quarterback to throw them the ball. Like,
yeah, I mean, look at last year. Even let's look. I'm gonna see if I can pull it up real quick for us here. The game stats here last year for Jalen Hyatt. So, what week did DJ get hurt? It was after Seattle. Right?
Yeah, after Seattle.
He was in. Was he in for Buffalo? And then got hurt in Washington. Is that what it was?
I don't recall.
Okay. So
Buffalo just scored another touchdown.
There you go. So I'm going to put the first 6 weeks in. Okay. The first 6 weeks for Hyatt. No catches, 2 catches, no catches, 2 catches, no catches, 3 catches. So the first 6 weeks, he had 7 catches. The rest of the season, he had 23. It was a higher percentage by far. He barely had over 100 yards in the first 6 games. Ended up with 373. I wonder if there's something between him and DJ. And I don't even mean like he doesn't like DJ or DJ doesn't like him. Sometimes people just don't work well together. They're not in sync.
Yeah.
And especially a guy who counts on deep throws, because that's what he is a speed guy. And you got a guy who can't throw deep. That's a bad mix. So, yeah, DJ got hurt in the Buffalo game, week 5. I was close. So let's take that out now. That was the 3-catch. His first 3-catch day was the Buffalo game. So that means in 5 weeks he had 5 catches. Oh, sorry, 5 weeks he had 4 catches. So we had 19 catches the rest of the way. I'm not saying he was lighting the world on fire. I'm not saying he was like an amazing receiver, but he went from 99 yards in 5 weeks to 373 yards overall. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
And, those were big catches. I mean, he hit against Arizona. Obviously, everybody looked good that second half of Arizona. You look at the game, 2 catches, 89 yards he had. So he had some deep throws. The other 2 catches for 10 yards against the Seattle Seahawks that week. I'm just saying, I'm just wondering if these guys just don't work well together. And it's probably the fact that, again, Jalen Hyatt is the guy who counts on deep throws. Daniel Jones is the guy who has trouble throwing deep throws. And I wonder if there's a maturity or frustration issue going on. And that's part of what's going on behind the scenes.
I mean, it could be a big possibility. Like, Hyatt's also one of those guys that was the stud for so long, and now he's bottom of the barrel. Like, there could be a lot of frustration there.
His own fault is bottom of the barrel. Deb says, why do they keep defending DJ? You mean Slayton doesn't see the problem? I think Slayton is much more versatile than Hyatt is, and that's the thing. Slayton has that deep runs he does at that point, deep routes, but he also does the intermediate stuff too as well. He still does the 10 to 15 yard catches as well. This 8 to 10 yard catches. He doesn't just do the short stuff that Wandale does, like the 3 yard catches and all. But
yeah,
but he does do that kind of stuff. Whereas Hyatt just hasn't, because Hyatt's big thing is using that speed to create separation. If you're using speed to create separation, that takes some yardage to get that separation, which means you're relying now on deep throws. Like I said, just food for thought. I'm thinking about here while we're even recording. I wouldn't even put this in the notes. It's kind of just popped up in my head. I just wonder if that's what's going on. And we're not going to know. We shouldn't know. That's stuff you keep in house.
Yeah.
And Deb says, oh no, but Slayton defends DJ like crazy. As he should. That's his quarterback.
Yeah.
He came up with him. Same rookie class and everything. Like, that's his quarterback. He should. Slayton is a stand-up guy. This is why I keep on telling people when they come about getting rid of Slayton. He's a stand-up guy. He's underrated. He's a team player. He's a guy that you should want on this squad for many years to come. As long as he's still got ability and plays football well. However long that is, you never know football.
Touche.
So, all right. Let's go ahead and pay the bills real quick, guys. And then we're going to recap how Rob and I did for our week 6 picks here, guys. So, BRB.
Enjoying the show? Looking for more goofball action? Consider a membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Memberships start at just $5 and give you additional goofball access. One-time support payments also available starting at just $3. buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
All righty, guys. And of course, if you want to support the show other ways, you can also do super chat on YouTube. You can also do stars on Facebook as well. So there's definitely a few different options there. But I'll tell you this, guys, point blank, if you want to know everything going on with the New York Football Giants, if you want to be the guy that's in the know,
hit that like, cool hero.
Subscribe. Hit the share button to let a friend know as well. So you have somebody else talk to that knows what's going on with football. But that's the best way to know, because as always, we do usually 3 to 4 episodes a week, depending if it's in season or not. So we're at 4 a week right now. We have new clips going up literally every single day. So hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with everything going on with the New York Football Giants there. All right, let's get into our weekly recap of the NFL here, week 6. Before we do that, we'll recap where we're at here for the season. So I squeaked out a victory in week 5. It was a close one. I just a 2-point lead there. And so basically he and I both had 6 wins of the 14 on the straight up wins. I had 8 spread wins. You had 7. I had 9 over unders. You had 10. We always do best on over unders this year.
We start betting that.
We really should start doing that, guys. So we're the over under people. I had 4 trifectas though to your 2, which was the difference maker. So I won 27-25. That puts me starting this week with a 7-point lead overall. So
not worried.
Listen, that's sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And sometimes you lose most of the year and then squeak out a win somehow at the end of the season, which is what you did last time. So, you never know.
Hey, man. We're going to the Super Bowl.
I'm going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Let's get into the first game of the week there, which was the 49ers going into Seattle, beating the Seahawks 36-24. And Rob and I got that one pretty much almost 100% correct. The only thing is we were under on the points and it was the over. So
yeah. So this game wasn't
2 out of 3 had.
Touche. And this game wasn't even close. Like, this doesn't even do proper justice. Like, you literally had the first half of the game where the Niners were just stomping all over the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks had 3 going into the half. And then they had some more garbage time. Geno threw the ball down the field, got some of the touchdowns, made it a little closer, but literally Brock Purdy and the Niners, they just kind of ran away with this game, just kept it going.
Yeah, and I think Giants fans, too, had to look at that game and realize something as well, because Jared Goff literally did not miss a pass 2 weeks ago against this Seahawks defense. Daniel Jones looked serviceable against the Seahawks defense, and now Brock Purdy throws 3 touchdowns without a lot of the big name stars. No McCaffrey. Did Ayuk still, is he out in that game? I know Debo.
No, he played, but if you had him in fantasy, it didn't look like he played.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not been worth that contract he got signed this year.
Yeah. So yeah, it's definitely not the same 49ers offense that it's been. I'm just saying, take that Seattle win with a grain of salt, because looking back on it after the last couple weeks, it's not as big a win as we think it is.
Yes and no. So this is also a divisional game. These guys usually play each other very tough through the year. So you also have to take that into consideration too. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that was a fool's gold win on our part.
Yeah, maybe.
And I don't mean the spectacular cinema flick with Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson.
Touche. Listen, Niners let off the gas pedal.
I thought you were about to go to a conversation about Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson.
No, listen, we're gonna go Matthew McConaughey, right? All right.
All right. Next game.
In London.
Oh, there's no place like London.
Chip chap Jaleo, you got the Bears.
Fish and chips and all.
Yeah, they're just doing a stomping against the Jaguars. My God. They defeated the undefeated Jaguars in London.
Oh, well, they're undefeated in London, not the undefeated Jaguars.
Yeah, undefeated in London. That's what I was getting at.
I'm just making sure people understand the difference, because the Jaguars suck.
Yeah, terrible. 1 win, which was last week, not this weekend. And yeah, so the Bears win 35-16. And Lee Williams, the past 2 weeks, what's his third game with 300 yards, or just about like he started off very lackluster, and past couple weeks he's kind of coming too.
Well, who had selected the Bears to win last week? I can't remember.
You did, and you weren't even high on the Bears at all. I was jumping on the Bears bandwagon, but
I'm that low on the Jaguars. That was what all about.
Listen, both of these teams are wishy-washy. Jaguars were the team that started off slow the past couple years with their beautiful hair Daniel Jones quarterback, if you will.
With a per plus version of Daniel Jones to Jacksonville.
And listen, Jacksonville has just always played great, no matter what they did. They beat really good teams the past couple of years in London. That's just what they do. And
Not
so you take a Bears
year.
team, and you take a Bears team that's been up and down, and if you go by history and statistics, like they should have won this game, but Drew was right, I was wrong.
And I got the trifecta on that one. I got the win, the spread, the over-under. You at least got the over-under. We're both knew it was going to be high scoring. So here's one that I get to say you were right on, though. And that's the Commanders at the Ravens there, which was a game that the Commanders, I thought they were going to win. They've been on a freaking roll like you would not believe there. The Ravens have become a little wish-washy. I know what you're highlighting, Rob. I got you. I was going on the spreadsheet, not the episode notes. But yeah, the Ravens end up winning 30-23 in a very tight match there. I had the Commanders to win this. I did pick the Ravens to be the spread pick winner though on this, so I did get my point there at that point. Which I just thought it was going to be a close game. What I thought the Ravens actually pull out the win there, and I did also select the over. So I got 2 out of 3, whereas you got all 3 on that because you did select the Ravens. You got your trifecta at that point there and picked up 2 extra points for Gryffindor there.
Still never seen those movies.
You should actually, honestly. They're not bad movies. They're really not. It's really kind of weird because they go from like kid movie to like young adult movie like as they go.
Yeah, I mean they all get older.
No, it's not just that. It's obviously geared towards younger children in the beginning and then towards like, teenage adults.
Yeah. You did movies, for 12, 15 years, whatever it was.
Yeah. 30 years it felt like.
People grow and watch it together, so I get it.
And then there's sequels. And now HBO's making a whole thing out of next year.
Pretty much.
They're redoing them all. Yep, there we go. As a TV show now. Anyway, next up,
you got the Buccaneers going into New Orleans. So the Bucs come into town. So they go into New Orleans, and they put a stomping on those Saints. All Saints Day, they said, "Hell no!" Bucs win 51-27, and a beautiful divisional rivalry beat up game.
Yeah, and Baker had a lot of picks. There were 3 picks in that game.
Yeah, but he just kept.
He was Jameis Winstoning it like you would not believe.
But he's like, what's the play for both these teams?
I want a high-scoring game. Okay, here you catch this. I know you're not my team. You got this.
You get the ball. You get a completion.
You get this
one.
You
get a completion. Yeah,
the Oprah of completions over here.
Yeah,
but yeah, at least you and I got this one right.
Oh, yeah.
So, trifectas all around.
I like my trifectas.
I like my trifectas in a tuxedo shirt.
That means classy, but also casual.
Exactly. It's like the mullet of shirts. So, next up, we got the Packers had the Cardinals in for dinner. And I mean that because they basically 34-13, absolutely trashed them at that point there. Now, this one here, I had picked the Cardinals, as did you on the spread. We thought it'd be a closer game, even though we thought the Packers would win. We were wrong there. So yeah, I did get the over/under at least, so I got on that there. But yeah, that's I
mean, you take the Cardinals that literally just put up 24 points against the Niners in their divisional game. They won against the Niners 24-23 the week prior. And the Packers, it seemed like they haven't been able to get together. Like Julian Love, like everyone I know wants to praise and love Julian. I said Julian Love. But Jordan Love over there.
Wrong Love.
Yeah. Wrong J Love.
Yeah.
But
I think Dude Love is a great quarterback.
Dude Love's a fantastic quarterback. But
Cactus Jack, not so much.
No. But I mean, as starter quarterbacks, their second string Malik Neighbors had more wins than Jordan Love going into this game.
Let's be honest, though, it wasn't because of Malik Willis. It was because of it, and because of the
I know
and who they played.
I know, but I would just like to bring that up. But Love showed some love in this game, and he put some stopping in there. Like he,
all you need is love.
love.
Don't
throw a pick. Don't throw a pick. No picks is what's needed.
Yeah. So, yeah, I always said we both got some points at least on that. I got 2, you got 1. Wasn't our finest moment.
No.
Next up,
you got the Colts going into Tennessee. And Tennessee, and a very actually more exciting game. And you know what the best part about watching Tennessee games is Will Levis and how he could just continue to make new memes every week.
I thought you were going to go with the Hawk Tua sighting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Haley Bradley, whatever her name is. But yeah, so the Colts win, and this is actually a very close back and forth game, but the Colts win in a 20-17 win. And Will Levis is amazing at doing whatever he does and not winning. Did you see that he tore the guy's ACL, the cameraman?
Yeah, he's a very unique individual. Will Levis is very unique. I think that's the proper way to word that. But yeah.
But it actually was a good game.
But you and I both got it right, all across the board. Yeah. Trifectas all around.
Trifecta.
Next up, we got the Texans going into the Patriots' home there and just totally wrecking up the place, getting drunk and causing all kinds of rowdy chaos. Texans do. They trashed them 41-21, guys. That's bad. That's not even close to being close at that point there. Now, this one is another one that you and I got the trifecta all around. We said Texans over, and guess what it was? Texans over.
But there was problems this game because you had Drake May playing this game, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, I think 275, 286 yards, something in that ballpark over there, and actually looked way better than Jacoby Brisket Myers, whatever you want to.
So, somewhere Brian Daboll was crying in the corner when he saw what happened in that game. He's probably watching it the whole time. Like, I could have had him.
That could have been us.
He's stuck with DJ.
Yeah. But Drake May had himself a good outing, especially for his first outing. So kudos to you, Drake.
Yep.
Awesome. Up next, Drew. Up next, you had the Brown Bowl, if you will. You had Cleveland going into Philadelphia, Smellidelphia, if you will. Eagles win. Eagles win at 20-16, and the Eagles, like, man, talk about like a house of cards again this year. Like they played a very close game to the Browns. Browns were like, they looked like they could potentially win this game, especially with Deshaun Watson, who with the quarterback play, which has been god awful terrible. You see Sirianni got booed by the crowd, and he started ripping them apart. Like started yelling at fans when they're chanting "Fire Sirianni."
Yeah, he's a very emotional man. If you don't remember him crying in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, I'll give him a little bit of a pass because there's a whole big thing with a deaf community over there. He has I think his sister's deaf or something, and with the interpreter, he got a little emotional. Maybe it's not that emotional.
Yeah, I feel like it was a little too extreme.
Yeah,
a little too extreme. Focus on the game. Anyway, yeah. So we didn't do too bad on that one. We just got the only thing we didn't get is a spread pick on that because we thought the Eagles would, beat the Browns pretty badly.
Why Eagles? Why?
Yeah, we beat the Browns, so we figured nobody could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
Nope. So they cost us a trifecta there. All right, then you got the AFC West. That's an AFC matchup, not AFC West, but AFC matchup there. The Steelers go to Las Vegas and bet the house on a victory and get it there. So 32-13, the Steelers win. That is pretty crazy there. Now, some people might have saw that coming overall, but might not have seen the over/under portion. That's what we did. We got the win. We got the spread pick. We got the under on the points. We thought it'd be a lower scoring game than it was. That's not good for the Raiders to give up that many points to the Steelers.
Yeah, especially since they were winning games with like 6 field goals.
Yeah, like they are not doing good at this point, guys. The Steelers are 2-4 in the season, same as us, and they showed a lot of promise in the beginning. And Gardner Minshew, as he started going down and playing worse, so did the whole team as a whole. Now, Aiden O'Connell, I know, started this game.
Yep, AOC.
Didn't do that good apparently. So yeah, it's
well, he's also the quarterback that didn't. Right? Was it last year where he had like no completions in 3/4 of football?
Yeah, it's yeah. He's not a good quarterback. That's another team like us that needs a quarterback. The difference is they're not nearly as talented around him.
Yeah, but Gardner Minshew is a pretty solid backup quarterback in this league. He's a good bridge.
He's a good, solid backup quarterback, but
for
whatever reason, I would have stayed with him personally and said O'Connell's not good. I'm going to lose at the best quarterback I got. I'm going to move on next year.
100%.
So,
all right. Well, next, you did have the AFC West battle over there because you had the Chargers going into the Mile High Club playing the Broncos. And Drew, you were totally right about this. I was wrong. That awesome top 5 defense in the Broncos.
I was off on the over/under. Let's not give me too much credit. But
the Broncos led up 23-16 in this game. They let the Chargers, who, I mean, they're coming off the bye, rested up. And I thought there was going to be more of a slow-paced game, but, they let Herbert throw the ball around a little bit more, and they stopped the Broncos big time. But I have to say, like, Bo Nix, like, taking them with where they did, like, he's been playing better football. I don't want to say great football. He's been playing. Yeah.
He's improving the
pretty last decent, solid football.
He's improving, and I still think the ceiling for him is low end starter to high end backup.
Listen, I mean,
plenty of guys make a very good living that way, so I'm not knocking him when I say it that way. I just think that's where he's at. So we'll see. I could be wrong. He's still developing as a quarterback in this league. So wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong. Won't be the last.
Bo Nix or DJ?
Either one. One's just younger and making less money.
Oh yeah.
In all fairness, I'm telling you right now, if as a Giant fan, if you wouldn't want to trade me Bo Nix for DJ, yes.
That's all I'm saying.
Done. Anyway, next up, we got the Falcons going to
Winter Soldier.
Panthers. No, not the Falcons. It's not a Marvel TV show on Disney Plus. Now streaming. Disney Plus in a sponsorship. We are available at 2giantgoofballs@mail.com.
Yes, Kevin Feige, please reach out.
So yeah, Falcons win 38-20, and I gotta say the Browns, they're like, I thought they're gonna start playing a lot better now without having the shortest quarterback in known history in the
Panthers,
NFL. And they're playing better, but they're still not playing good. It's going like downhill where I feel like they're going to be competition for us for that number 1 quarterback. I was hoping they'd win a couple of games and we don't have to compete with them at that point there.
Well, history shows it that they have not done a good job picking up their quarterbacks.
Yeah. So you and I both got that one right as far as the Falcons winning. I actually picked the Panthers to cover the spread, which I was wrong on. You were right on the Falcons. I just thought that they would cover the spread because it's a divisional rival. Andy Dalton plays.
You're normally right.
Okay on that, you and I both had the under on the over/under. We're both wrong with that as well there. So not a lot of points for us in that one. You got 2, I got 1.
Womp, womp, womp.
Womp, womp, womp.
Well, up next, you had the Loons.
It's the Lions.
No, yeah.
It's not a loony. It's not a Canadian. It's not a Canadian currency.
Yeah.
I know they're close to Canada. They're in Detroit, eh?
Hey, don't you know? But yes, the Lions go into Dallas and they put a stopping on Dak and those Cowboys. Cowboys put up 9 to the Lions 47. And if you watch this game, there was nowhere at any point in this game did Dallas stand a chance. This wasn't garbage time points. This is just nonstop a mud hole stopping.
Jerry Jones is definitely pulling what little hair he has left out of his skull right now. And
like, we paid Dak for what?
You know, it's not even Dak. I mean, a lot of what they made him so good the last couple of years is Dan Quinn's defense. And
listen, I talked about that at the beginning of the year.
You have no run game now. You have an offensive line that's not nearly as good as it used to be. You know, it's not the same team. We both said that ahead of time. We said the Eagles and the Cowboys both are taking a step back this offseason. We just weren't sure what the rest of them, how they do, you know?
Yeah, it's not like they did much in the free agency. Like, I said it before, I'll say it again. Like, the winner of this division may have 10 wins.
We'll see.
They may not.
Right now, right now, it's kind of a, you know, who knows who's going to win the division kind of thing. I mean, this.
Well, you said a couple weeks ago, Commanders might be the one that's possibly leading this division, which they are currently with 4-2.
Yeah, I mean, they're 4-2. Eagles are 3-2. Cowboys 3-3, and us 2-4. No one's technically out of it.
No,
except Daniel Jones. If he stays in, we're done. But you know, yes, that's where we're at. All righty, and let's see. How do we do on that pick there? Let's see. It looks like you and I both got a trifecta.
Yeah,
both got the trifecta. And of course, we had our game. The Bengals go into New Jersey, and the Giants, for some reason, forget that you're supposed to put points on the board, and we lose 17-7 to the Bengals at that point. Now, that one you and I did not do very good on because you and I both thought the Giants were to pull out the victory, and we did not. So we got nothing except the under on that game there. Now, the Bills and the Jets guys are still going on.
You got 11 minutes and 28 seconds left in the third, and you got the Bills lined up for a field goal. Currently, it's 20-17 Bills, but let's see what Tyler Bass does right now.
Yeah,
he's lining up for the punt field goal. Excuse me.
It's still up for grabs. What's going to happen on the points and what's going to happen on the winner stuff? So we'll leave that one out of it for right now.
Here we go.
So
23-17. You see that Tyler Bass got blocked earlier in the game too?
I did not because I was busy doing this.
Oh, I was busy doing this too, but it's right there.
Wow. It's dedicated to my craft. Macaroni and cheese. The blue box rules. As Deb says, kicker miss last two. See, Deb's multitasking as always.
Yeah. Well, listen, Tyler Bass just got that field goal right now. It's 23-17.
So anyway, where we're at for the win so far here. So we got 13 of the 14 games done so far. I got 11 wins so far. You got 10. That's even if I lose this game here. If I lose, we're both at 11 wins. 11 out of 14 is a damn good freaking ratio. I'll take that in a heartbeat.
Hell yeah.
On the spread picks, I got 9 right now. You got 8. Again, I'll take it. The over-unders. Again, I got 9. You got 8. Can't fault that at all. We're averaging 60% between the two of us in those categories. And then we each got 5 over-unders. So that puts me with a 3-point lead so far for this week. Now, depending on how this Bills-Jets game goes, you could just get 2 of those 3 points back. Yeah. No, you get 2 of the 3. Actually, you could if you get the trifecta. If you get the trifecta, you could tie it back up. But as of right now, I have a 10-point lead on the season. So you notice a little bit of hurting when he sat down just then to sit in this chair because your butt got kicked.
By 10 points.
All righty, guys. So we'll be back again for you guys Wednesday. As we do our pregame show, so we can tell you how we think the Giants are going to F it up this week against the Philadelphia Beagles there. So we'll find out there because both teams have been disappointing fans. So it's kind of like someone's got to win it. It's going to be that kind of game.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the differences in the Eagles this year compared to last year because this ain't your mama's Eagles. This is not the same team. The same
this
team
is
at
not
all,
the
guys.
Super Bowl caliber team that it was.
Definitely not. So that window may have closed on them. So we'll go over that with you guys. Of course, any of the latest, greatest Giants news as well. And then Thursday, as always, we'll be back with the picks show there for week 7. I can't believe week 7 already. God damn.
I know, right?
It's like we're almost halfway there. Living in a prayer. Jersey boys, we can't help ourselves.
Yeah.
Right, but yeah,
so we're going to exit 120 rest stop. Let's go. It's the Bon Jovi rest stop. It's been shut down since they renamed it.
Is it a Bon Jovi rest stop they call it now? I don't even know. I haven't been that rest stop in forever.
Well, I mean, you've been living down in Florida forever. The one in Cape May. The one in Cape May, they renamed to Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis.
You would think it would be up by Hudson because he's the Hudson Hawk, but
I feel like you're not supposed to talk trash about Bruce Willis because of the medical things he has. And listen, my heart goes out to his family dealing with all the medical issues he has. But he's a schmuck. Anybody who's ever met Bruce Willis knows he's a schmuck.
He's a famous New Jerseyan. What do you want?
I know he is, but I'm just saying, I feel like people get sick or something and we're not supposed to do something bad. No, he was a schmuck then, he's still a schmuck. You can still feel bad he's going through this and wish he didn't have it, but still say he's a schmuck. Kind of like when Michael Jackson died and all of a sudden he wasn't a child molester.
Oh. Dave Chappelle did the best skit about that.
But I'm saying, it's the truth, though. Someone dies there or gets really sick and all of a sudden, like, oh, he's such a great person. Last week you were talking trash about him. Be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest. Anyway, as I go on my rant there. Again, we there for the game itself there. I don't know, Rob, if you want to do a play-by-play this time there. We have to look at your schedule there, but I'll probably pop on, do a little play-by-play.
1 o'clock game? Probably not.
Okay. Well, like I said, if not, we'll see you in the post game.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'll continue there from there. So if you haven't already, guys, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. As always, we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and of course on game day as well. And as always, we are available the next day, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, whenever Rob remembers to put it up there for the audio podcast versions as well. So I apologize to the audio podcast people that may be like, where did our episode go today? Rob made a boo-boo. Calling him out.
Yeah.
I'm calling him out.
But listen, we were live till midnight last night.
I know.
I was entertaining a 3-year-old all day. I was asleep. Oh, God.
I won't make the joke. Anyway.
You take your Michael Jackson ass out of here.
You can't say that right after you talked about Michael Jackson.
You take that Michael Jackson ass out of here.
Anyway,
Moonwalk your ass out of here.
We'll see you guys Wednesday again. Appreciate you guys for watching and listening as always. And as always, Giant fans, go G-Man! Go G-Man!
G-Man.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please